Yeah, I've always strived to be a better rider, you know.
Yeah, well, you should learn something new every day.
Oh yeah, practice.
Yeah.
Practice.
Well, that's something we all get lazy on.
Yeah, I get lazy.
Hey, welcome back to the Handlebar Garden. It's another back porch edition.
Yep. Nice. Getting to be fall day, so we thought we would go over 10 tips to make you, yes, you, a better rider. Stay tuned. All right. Like I said, we've got 10 tips that we think that'll help you out in the long run, no matter if you're an experienced rider or not so experienced. So we'll go over number 1. Micah, start on that.
That's don't look directly in front of you. I've known guys start out riding and they're real bad to look just a few inches in front of their front wheel.
Yep.
And that's a recipe for disaster there. So yeah, you need to I guess scan the highway and then look way out there. So
way on.
Yeah.
As far, and this is me. I'm always looking as far out as I can see. I'm always scanning that. Of course, you got your rear views. You gotta, and when you're going through a turn, you're looking to where you want to be, not where you're at. This don't even matter at this point. And use your peripheral vision to correct anything that might be going on down here. You should have already seen that.
Yeah.
Way out there. So that'll be tip number 1.
And looking at the side of the road too.
Yep.
So we like to ride on a lot of the back roads.
Yep.
And you don't know if it's going to be a deer or a squirrel or what. It could be darting across the road.
Yep.
So I mean, you need to kind of keep an eye on what's going on in the ditch lines, but be able to look out in front of you. See, what if there's a car out there. If somebody's on their phone and they're kind of swerving, they might be on their phone, they might be drinking. You don't know.
Don't know.
So I mean, you need to catch that too. Stuff coming the other way, make sure they're not coming over in your lane.
Right.
I've had stuff like that happen.
Yeah, I think we all have. So tip number 1, train yourself to look into the horizon, far out as you can see. Number 2,
it goes along hand in hand with number 1. When you do look out and you see something in the road, and I've learned this the hard way. If you're looking at it, 9 times out of 10 you're going to hit it.
Yep.
Once you see it, you know where it's at. Get your eyes back out there, and then make the proper adjustment to get around it.
Yep. Yeah. Once you stare at it, and just like we're going around a turn, if you'll look where you want to be, that's where your bike will go.
Yeah.
If you're looking at a dead groundhog sitting in the road, and you look at it till you up to it, you're going to run directly over top of it. It's just the way it works. Bike will go where your eyes go.
Yeah.
So that would be.
Well, what's the saying? Look down, fall down.
Look down, fall down. And I just be honest with you, I can look down like that. It don't take me long. I'm pretty drunk, pretty sick. So I get cage sick pretty easy. So or motion sickness, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
So again, if you see something in the road, and we're going to hopefully put out a video on tips for group riding too.
Yeah.
So this is only for single riders. No more bikes involved, just you. So look at it, acknowledge it, look away from it, ride by it safely.
And tip number 3 is don't ride in blind spot of the vehicle in front of you.
Yep.
So if you can't look in their mirror and see their face, then they're not going to be able to look in their mirror and see you.
You know, and a lot of cars have the radars now, and you'll see, and it makes me feel a little better if you're going around somebody, that little orange light to come up on their mirror.
Yeah.
That kind of, yeah, it helps me because hopefully they won't. But don't ride in somebody's blind spot. Yeah, that's not a good
Yeah.
deal
And
to do at all.
especially if it's interstate riding.
Yeah.
Because you're doing 70 or above,
Yep.
and just a little bump, and you're gone.
Yep. So don't ride in a blind spot. And a lot of people say this: loud pipes save lives. But if you don't have loud pipes, they're not going to know you're there anyway. So, and if you took a rider's course or rider's test, that is on your test, or was mine. Where is the most danger? The guy here, behind the car, in front of it, or on the side? It's always the guy on the side. You're in his blind spot. Although I may or may not agree with that. So that was number 3. Number 4. Pay attention to the vehicles that are around you. And I do this if I'm in a cage. Mike and me talked about this, of course. If I'm going around somebody and I see them looking in their mirror or reaching for the turn signal, then I know danger's fixing to be happening.
Yeah.
And so you accelerate if you've got enough to get around.
If not, then let off.
You got to let off, brake, just do what you got to do. Honk your horn. And honking your horn is another tip that's on down here that you're going to find, and that might help you out too. So,
And not just for passing somebody.
Yeah.
But coming out of like an intersection or something.
Yep. A lot of people like to roll a little bit,
Yeah.
and I just be honest with you, I squinch up every time they'll come up and stop and then roll. I'm thinking, oh, they're coming.
You know, spending enough years on a bike, you can almost tell when somebody's going to pull out in front of you.
Yep.
So be ready to get on the brake, whatever you need to do.
Yep.
I mean, you can tell, like, this guy don't see me.
Nope.
Even when they look your direction, it's like they didn't see me. They're pulling out.
Even though I ride with my lights on bright,
Yeah.
he didn't see me. I don't want that words to come out. Oh, I didn't see him coming. That's why I leave my lights on bright all the time.
Yeah.
So that was number
4.
4. All right, we have gotten down to
Halfway point.
number 5. Goes back somewhat to what I said about number 4. Bought a new one last 2020, and some of the buttons are a little different.
Well, I went from no buttons to a whole bunch of buttons, so it's
buttons. So
it's way different
Yep.
for me.
So know your buttons, know your bike. It should be automatic. When you need to blow your horn, you shouldn't be going, where's the horn button?
Yeah.
It should be automatic. Know where that horn button's at. Turn signals,
Kill switch.
kill switch. Some people
You
use
ever
it,
been
some
going
people
down the
don't.
road and just lay your hand up there and bump the kill switch?
Well, no, but I know somebody that has. We was rolling pretty good too when this happened. Now, and that happened to us not long ago.
Yep.
I don't remember where we was going, but I laid my hand up there. I had the cruise control set up, and I just laid my hand up there, like on the reservoir, brake reservoir, and I hit the hazard. And Mike ran up and said, "Hey, your hazards are on." And I'm like, "Huh?" So I'd inadvertently hit him with my hand. But anyway, number 5 is to know your buttons.
You know all your controls.
Know what each one does.
And like with ours, with the hydraulic clutch,
Mhm.
man, that's something to practice.
Yep.
Get used to. And if you're a new rider, whether it's hydraulic or cable clutch, practice of where that clutch lets
Yep,
out
yep.
at.
That's true.
And your shifter, your brake. How hard can you hit your brake without it just throwing you up?
So know that bike. Know how it reacts.
Yeah.
Know its characteristics.
And your and your throttle.
Yeah.
I mean, how quick throttle response is it?
Yeah, if I'm in fifth, I need to know how much. What do I got at each gear?
Yeah.
Or at each speed.
Can you
So,
downshift?
Right. We got a little breeze going on here today, which is good.
Makes the flag look good though, don't it?
Yeah, boy. Glory's pretty, ain't she? Anyway, that's number 5. Number 6. If you're riding the big road, and we don't ride the big road a lot, we prefer to stay off the big road, but times it's a necessity, just to be honest with you. Sometimes there's no easy other way around.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you have to take a 40-mile loop to get, to save 2 miles. So, but anyway.
Well, that, or if you're pressed for time to get back home or something, you got to hit it. But.
True. You got a 3-lane or more. Do not camp out in that center lane. You've got no way of escape from any danger, because you'll generally have cars on both sides of you,
front and behind,
and you're boxed in.
Hang not out just cars, but big trucks.
Big trucks, yeah. Hang out in the right lane. If you need to go around somebody, go around them. Go to the left lane. Anything but the center lane. Center lane is the most dangerous lane on the big road. That's just a fact.
When you're on a bike, you shouldn't be in a hurry.
Yeah.
Just wanting to hit the interstate and hammer down.
Right.
I know it does get boring when you have to ride it.
Yeah. It's very boring.
Take your time. If you stay in that right lane, if you have to get to the shoulder of the road or hit an exit for whatever reason.
Yep. Number 6, don't hang out in the center lane. This brings us to number 7. Going into a corner, into a big curve. Downshift as you go into this turn. Keeping your speed up as you approach the corner. Downshift at the right speeds, and sometimes, let's be honest with you, we've all got caught with bigger turns than what we thought.
Oh yeah. That's where it comes into the counter steering.
Yep.
Pushing your handlebar the opposite way that you think it should be, so you lean more, or even pulling down on the handlebar when you come in hotter. But if you're looking back to tip number 1, if you're looking out there and you see the curve coming up, then you know.
And then you're looking through the curve.
Yeah, kind of judge your speed.
So keep your bike in every bike's different. Keep it in the power band, $2 to $3 grand. Mostly in ours are 25 to 35. And that way you can throttle through when you're going into that curve, and you at a safe speed. About midways into that turn, then you're cracking that throttle. And that's bringing that bike back up and kind of launching you out for the next big thing, I guess. But
well, it's the same for a car. When you come into a car, let off as you come into it, and then you can give it some gas just for starting back out.
Yep.
I mean, same concept, basically.
A lot of people don't do that.
No.
They'll coast all the way through a turn, wait till they get all the way through the turn, and they've actually worked to get the bike stood back up. Versus if you'll just throttle through, it'll just come up, and then it'll follow your eyes. So that's number 7. This brings us to number
8.
Ooh. Where's that 4 and a 4? Practice. And Mike and me have just talked about this. I'm guilty for not doing this enough. Practice low speed handling of your bike as often as needed until it becomes comfortable and automatic by yourself and with the rider.
Yeah.
Probably 90% of my riding, probably at least 90% of my riding is with a rider. And I'm not complaining whatsoever. I enjoy it. But very important.
Well, that and packing for a trip. Once you got all that gear on there, that's almost like having 2 riders with you.
Yep.
And it makes it, and what we got, I mean, they're pretty good sized bikes. There's a lot of weight to them.
Yeah, you're looking over 1,000 pound, well over 1,000 pound time you get 2 riders on there, and then you start adding luggage and stuff.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I figure if you're going off for a week, 1 pair of jeans. No, I will not get into that.
Yeah, that'll be for another video.
but yeah, practice, and you can find old school parking lots or abandoned parking lots or whatnot. Practice your low speed maneuverability, and in some bike shops even let you do a lot of them offer training courses, and you can go over into their training facilities and do that too. But that's something that's very important. I'd say I'm lazy on it, just to be honest with you myself. But the more you practice, the better you get. I mean, as far as that goes, you'll never perfect it, but practice will help you out time and time again. So that is number 8. Brings us to number
9.
9. Don't never expect that anybody can ever see you. Always expect they can't see you, or at least not even paying no attention. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's when you're, well, even in a car, but especially when you're on a bike, just always assume that nobody's looking out for you.
Nope, because they're not.
Always ride defensively.
Yep.
I mean, always wait for somebody to come over, pull out in front of you, come up on your back or whatever.
Yep. So, like I said, just always assume. Now, I ride with my headlight bright all the time.
Yep.
So that gives me, I think, a better advantage. And some people have I think they're called oscillating lights, the ones that on and off, on and off, on and off. And I guess that would, I mean, they do grab your attention. I don't have one on my bike. I don't. And then we kind of thought too, nearly everywhere we go, we ride a helmet. I mean, there's surrounding states that don't require, and sometimes, we're not getting into that, but anyway. Depending on what
I've never been a fan of helmets, but
right.
I mean, with the newer ones, and we've done a video not long ago on helmets,
Yep.
how much lighter they are. So they're not really that bad.
Yep.
I still don't like them, but I wear them anyway.
Yep.
But if you've got a full face helmet or a 3/4 helmet, full face, whatever, that does kind of restrict some of your peripheral vision.
Yep.
So, you need to always be looking around, seeing what vehicles run you're doing.
Yep.
And like we've mentioned already about seeing the other driver's face and kind of guessing at what they're going to do.
And that goes along too. I mean, I've got rear views, and they're angled out pretty wide. But if I'm going to be making a turn, going to the other lane, I don't trust my mirrors. I mean, and I've,
because they have blind spots from
and
where
I've
you go.
studied them, and a car's coming, you kind of watch it. It's not much of a blind spot, but it's enough that I always glance over my shoulder to see what's going on. So,
3 or 4 years back, I was getting ready to make a right-handed turn, and I heard gravels. Somebody was in them, and I looked, and there was a car coming around me on the shoulder of the road. Yeah, I mean, if I'd have just looked in my mirror and then made that turn, they would have wiped me out.
right.
They were coming around me on the shoulder of the road.
Wow. So always assume nobody can see you. They're not watching out for your best interest, which is to come home safely. That is number 9. Brings us down to number 10. Mike and me have talked about this before. Neither one of us like the big road.
No.
I'm not. And if we need to get to point A to point B in a quicker time or whatnot, you're in a time crunch, whatnot, yeah, I'll ride it. But if we're just out for a leisurely ride, well,
yeah, I mean, interstates, you don't have the curves, you don't have the scenery.
Yep.
I mean, you're just going.
Yep. So ride places that have fewer possibles of dangers, and maybe a time that's not as busy with traffic. Avoid the traffic if possible, and old backcountry roads are a lot less stressful than the city or the interstate.
I remember first starting out riding. Of course, that would always be a group, 4 or 5 or 10 or whatever.
Right.
And somewhere we were going to ride, we'd have to go through a city.
Right.
And I always dreaded, like, man, I don't want to ride through.
Yep.
I don't want to get caught at the red light. I don't want somebody cutting me off. I don't want all this, everything going on. But
Yep.
that's when you also learn to ride when you're in a group, which, you know, we'll talk about this in another video. But to ride tight.
Yep.
Don't leave a space for people to get in.
Yep.
And everybody try to get through the light at the same time.
That's true.
But yeah, being on back road, and I mean, really, you can take a back road and go anywhere you want.
Yep.
Even though some people, it kind of blows their mind
Yeah.
that you can go from state to state without being on the interstate.
We go a lot. I mean, you can track it out. Generally, you can
Yeah.
get
And
around.
nowadays, with cell phones, GPS, built-in GPS on our bikes, I mean, we got several options of how we can sit down and look, plan a route.
Figure it out. Yep. So and now, when we're talking city, we're talking about big metropolises.
Yeah.
I guess that's how you say it. Going through these little one-horse towns, that's something that we all dig. I do love myself, like looking at an old abandoned building and knowing at one time somebody put that there for a reason.
Yeah, that
and
was
it
a
was
thriving
It
business.
was thriving, you know. So, that's,
And even the buildings that are still in operation,
yep,
look, see how old some of them are.
yeah, it's amazing.
The
Well, we were summing one not long ago. It was in the
Yeah.
40s.
the architect that come in and designed and built this, and then how they looked that time period, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's
Yep.
small towns are great. Back
Yeah.
roads and small towns.
Yep. So that's our 10 tips to making you a better, safer rider. If you got anything to add, feel free to
Leave us a
comment
comment and let us know.
and let us know. And by all means, this is just our opinion, and you may have something that
Yeah.
is totally different. But I mean, this is what we think that would make you and ourselves especially a better rider. So give us a shout out, hit the like button, or
Be sure to subscribe.
yeah,
Hit the notification bell.
ding ding. Man, I gotta get my bell. I need to just carry a bell with me all the time. Ding ding ding. But we appreciate you for watching, and until next time,
Ride safe.
ride safe.